Welcome back to Jay's Auto Detailing. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be working on this Lexus RX 350, and I'm going to be showing you a way that you can apply a very durable and hydrophobic sealant in a matter of minutes. So stay tuned. So the product that we're going to be using on this car today is Gyeon Wet Coat, and you might have seen me using it in a few of the other videos that I had posted. To a detailer or someone that's doing this on the side, or even as just a DIYer at your house, and you don't have a lot of time, this is a time saver. So you're going to get instant gloss from this. You're going to get the hydrophobics, very similar to a ceramic coating or a freshly waxed or sealed vehicle, and you're also going to get the self-cleaning properties. This is super easy to use, and you could put this on all exterior surfaces. So you're talking paint, your trim, your windows, your wheels. Basically the entire exterior of the vehicle is going to be protected with this wet coat. And this will actually last up to 12 weeks. So I bought this specifically for myself to use because as a detailer, I don't really feel like maintaining my daily driver or my wife's daily driver constantly. And I just don't have the time to do it. So this was actually the only product that I used for protection on my own personal vehicles. This would be used every few months, apply a new coating, dry the vehicle off, and it was done. Great results. I also use this on customers' vehicles now, and we also use it as a booster on our ceramic coated vehicles. Our main goal first is to wash the entire exterior of the vehicle, get it cleaned. You may have to do a clay bar treatment. You may have to get some road grime off of the sides of the vehicle. Your goal, just like any time you apply a sealant, is to get the surface as clean as possible. Then we'll be applying this. So let me get this thing washed first, and then we'll get right to applying this Gyeon Wet Coat. You'll see how easy it is. Now this car was in roughly 15 weeks ago for a maintenance detail, and we applied wet coat after we washed it and prepped the surface. And you can see on the hood here, there's still quite a bit of water beading that's happening. So let me just rinse it really quick and you can see. So the water does stand on the surface for a little while, but it does begin to sheet off very slowly on the hood. I'm going to show you some other sections here on the doors. We can see that the water is kind of laying on the surface. It's not as hydrophobic as it was obviously when we applied it 15 weeks ago, but there are still sections on this vehicle that are beading water. You can see the back door, some higher spots here on the rear quarter. The back window is beading water. So really, this is just gonna need a touch up. But you can see, like I said, that's 15 weeks. Here's the roof, still getting great hydrophobics on the surfaces here. Okay, so the vehicle's been washed, it's still wet, we did not dry any of the surfaces, and that is how you're going to apply it, on a wet surface. We're going to be using this on all the painted surfaces, the wheels, the windows, the trim, headlights, taillights, grille, all the plastics, everything can be coated with wet coat. What I have my coating in is a very fine mist spray bottle. So you can see there's just a little bit of a mist coming out. I found these online. Some other people mentioned they use them, and it's definitely a money saver. I mean, it kind of makes the product go a little bit longer. So usually with a regular pump sprayer, I would get maybe one car, maybe 1.5, depending on the size, out of one full bottle. On this, I'm doing multiple vehicles. So I'm using less product, but still getting the same results. These sprayers can be found on Amazon. These are 24 ounces. I believe they are like 30 bucks for a pack of 3. I will put the link down in the description below so you can easily find those, but this was definitely a money saver for sure. Before we do get started with the application, just some tips to remember. You're always gonna wanna be applying this on a cool surface. You're not gonna wanna be doing this outside in the middle of the day with the sun blazing down, because you don't want this to dry immediately on the surface. You wanna give it time to go around the vehicle and also time to dry it before the water dries on its own, because then you're gonna wind up with water spots and rings and it's just gonna make a mess. You're also gonna wanna use this one panel at a time. Work my way around the vehicle, maybe starting with the fender, work my way doing each panel one time. 2 different approaches you could use when applying Gyeon Wet Coat. You could either spray it on the surface and then rinse immediately, or you could spray it on the surface and using a clean microfiber wash mitt, you can then spread the wet coat onto the surface and then rinse. You're making sure that the entire surface is evenly coated before you rinse the wet coat. So we're gonna do both to kind of show you and see if we get better results either way. So on the first panel, I'm gonna do a rinse and then just spritz the wet coat onto the surface and then rinse it off, and we'll see what our results look like. So here's the rinse. See the water's kind of standing on there. There's a little bit of separation from whatever's remaining from our application 15 weeks ago. But I will mist this on very lightly to the surface and then immediately rinse off with the pressure washer. I'll just bring you in closer. You could automatically see the water beading effect right after I rinsed. So that was our first with just spraying on. Now we're gonna move on to the back door, where I will mist it on and then use the microfiber wash mitt to evenly spread the wet coat on the surface. All right, so first we will rinse to see the water standing. There is still some separation from our last application. I'm going to mist it on. And now I use the microfiber wash mitt to spread the wet coat evenly across the door. And now we can rinse. Take a look at the water beading. It might have been hard for the camera to pick up, but I am seeing better results with the second application right here on the back door, spreading it on. The water beading is better. So I think that's going to be the way we're going to continue for the rest of the car. So the hood has been coated. You can see the water beading is instantaneous as soon as you hit it with the pressure washer. We'll go around the rest of the car and get this finished up. We're also going to add this coating to the wheels. They're still beating up a little bit from the last time, but we're going to add some more onto here. So basically just spray on and rinse. You can see the water beating up. Definitely going to help with cleaning in the future. Getting all that brake dust off and road grime that might usually be getting stuck to the wheels. Now that we have that protection on there, it's definitely gonna be a lot easier to clean. All right, so there you have it. A very clean and protected vehicle behind me. The gloss is great. The water beading effect is awesome. And it only took me probably a half hour start to finish. That's washing it, applying the Gyeon Wet Coat, and then towel drying the vehicle. So this is definitely something for the DIYer, or even for a detailer who's interested in finding something to use for maintenance details. Something you can get the vehicles in and out quick, add a good layer of protection, add a good layer of shine. The customer is going to be happy, and you can move vehicles very quickly through your shop. I'll put the links down below, but you could find Gyeon Wet Coat on Amazon. They have the 16.9 fluid ounce spray bottles for, I believe, around 20 bucks. You could also find the gallon size on AutoGeek, Detailed Image. There are a lot of different suppliers that carry Gyeon Wet Coat. Usually paying around $80 to $90 plus shipping to get it. It's gonna last you quite a while though, especially if you're just a DIYer using it on your own vehicles for maintenance. But if you are a detailing business, you could always set up an account with someone like Detailed Image, who I get all my supplies through, and you're gonna wind up getting some discounts. You work your way up through different tiers. Obviously, the more money you spend, the bigger your discounts are gonna be. And I'm pretty sure I'm at the top tier right now because Detailed Image, which you see the sign hanging on the wall behind me. Thanks, Detailed Image, you guys are great. Their customer service is also amazing, and shipping for me is very quick. I'm in Pennsylvania, they're in New York, so I get things within about 2 to 3 days. Definitely a good place to get some products. So if you're a DIYer, or if you are an actual detail business, Gyeon Wet Coat is definitely a good product to use. In and out maintenance on vehicles, something to sell to your customers as protection for their vehicle, something that doesn't need a full-blown ceramic coating, or someone that doesn't want to spend the money on a ceramic coating or on a, say, 6-month sealant. You can see this 15 weeks ago on this car, and the water was still beating up great. It's been washed a few times since then, obviously, but the protection is there and it's easy to apply. So you could definitely pump in and out several vehicles within a day if this is what you were applying to the cars as your protection package. I also mentioned before that you could use Gyeon Wet Coat as a topper on a ceramic coating. So when we have customers bring their vehicles in, say every 6 months for a maintenance wash on their ceramic coating just to check things over, we will apply the Gyeon Wet Coat after we have decontaminated the surface. We will apply that, and it just adds some extra protection to the ceramic coating, and we can get the vehicles in and out of the door pretty quick. There are a few other products that are out there that do the same exact thing as Gyeon Wet Coat. I'm not sure of the names of them all, but I know McKee's Hydro Blue, I believe it's called, is a very similar product where it's applied to a wet surface and rinsed. I have not used any others besides for Gyeon Wet Coat. It's just something that I bought, like I said earlier in the video, 5 to 6 years ago, and use it on my own vehicles, and now I'm using it on customers' vehicles. I have had awesome results, so why fix what's not broken? So I'm just continuing to use it. If you have used any others, leave a comment below. Let me know how it works out for you, or if you're a fan of the Gyeon, if you use it. If you're not a fan, let me know. Let me know why. I would love to hear more information from other detailers or other people that have experience applying this. So I think that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to give you a quick little review and show you the application process of Gyeon Wet Coat. Hopefully this helps you out if you are a detailing business, or if you're just a DIYer and you're looking for a very fast and efficient way to add some protection to your vehicle. So if you haven't already, be sure to smash that subscribe button down below. Comment down below, let me know what you think. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.